my name is Christy and welcome to my channel. Today I want to ask you a question. Were you raised in the Clean Your Plate Club? Because I sure was, and I can tell you that my mom and dad raised me that way, I think, because they were raised that way. It was like, you're going to sit at the table, you're going to clean your plate, and you cannot get up from the table until you eat what's there. Also, part of that was they cooked the food that they cooked, and that's what was for dinner. I didn't serve myself. The food was served to me on a plate. The plate was made for me, and I was expected to finish it, whether I liked it or not. I spent most of my childhood was during the 1980s. And that was the time when fat was starting to be vilified, when margarine was definitely on the rise. Everyone was saying, eat margarine, not butter, don't eat saturated fat, and all that kind of stuff. And the food pyramid had been adopted and was, I think, kind of widely accepted by many, right? I can remember seeing posters of it in my doctor's office, at my school, and my mom, her college degree was actually in home economics. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. But because of that, she had to take some nutrition classes, and those classes were influenced heavily by those type of diet recommendations that are shown on the food pyramid. And so I can remember my plates consisting of things like, my favorite part, which was the meat, but it was never fatty meat. So if we could afford steak, which was rare, it was always sirloin. We ate a lot of chicken, which evolved over the years into chicken breast. We ate a lot of lean fish. I think it was chicken and fish, each of those twice a week, maybe steak once every couple of weeks. Like I said, sirloin steak, maybe once a month. And then the other meals were, I don't know, some kind of mix of things. A lot of times things like spaghetti and things like that. But if we had a meat like a fish or a chicken, which was the majority of the dinners, it was usually accompanied by a salad or a vegetable, like, broccoli or something, and some kind of starch, like a potato or rice. And then we drank milk with our dinner. And the milk, I remember switching when it switched from whole milk to non-fat milk in my house. And so my mom was really, really doing her best. But part of that was this whole idea of, you're going to sit at this table until you clean your plate. And I guess growing up, I was always, a good kid, a rule follower. I did what my parents told me to do, but I didn't like peas. And I'm sure there were some other things. Oh, my mom served liver a couple times. I really did not like liver. Things like that I really detested. And I would literally sit at the table from dinner time until bedtime. I would eventually get it all down. If it was peas, it was like a few peas and then gulps of milk. And I remember refilling my milk cup multiple times to try and swallow those peas down. It never even occurred to me to hide them somewhere, We didn't have a dog to feed them to. We had a cat. Don't think she would have eaten those. But yeah, it didn't occur to me to flush them, hide them, sneak them off somewhere. None of that occurred to me. It was just, I eventually would choke them down. Now, I will say that I think because of those negative experiences of those times when I was literally at the dinner table for hours, I just decided that I wasn't going to do that to my own kids. Wise, not wise, whatever. I just decided that I was going to do something else. And so I never required them. I have two boys, and I never required them to clean their plate. And currently, I have an older son who's 18 and a younger son who is 16. Now, why am I saying all this? Well, it's because I think that not making them clean their plates has made them have a better relationship with food, way better than I ever have. I wish that I was able to do what my sons do, just kind of naturally. So here's an example. So I have, like I said, the two sons. The older one still eats kind of just a standard diet, and the younger one is carnivore, okay? My younger kid, when I give him eggs and sausage for breakfast, sometimes I'll look in the bowl and there's legitimately like a bite and a half of eggs and sausage left in the bowl. He got full, he was done, he stopped eating. Like if I had a bite and a half of anything, eggs, steak, whatever it was, I would definitely chomp that right down, even if I felt full. And it's because, that mentality, when your parents teach you to clean your plate, my parents were not, I don't think, being bad parents by doing that. It was, we're not going to waste things. We're going to eat what's given to us, that kind of thing. Um, so I have this like it's wasteful to throw a bite of food away kind of thing in my brain. But I don't feel bad when my son does it. That's a bite and a half of eggs. I'll just throw that away. It's not really worth saving. My mom would have definitely said, that's not worth saving. Just eat it. Instead of, that's not worth saving. You're full. Okay, let's throw it away. Right. But he just does that. It just comes naturally to him. When he's full, he stops. And even my older son, who eats a standard diet, he will do things like if he's eating, let's say, a burrito, he will cut that burrito and some of the insides, the filling, which I think is the best part of the burrito, it might leak out and he won't eat it. Like if he's full, if he eats all the burrito and then there's still some filling on the plate, he'll just like leave it there. Whereas I would sit there probably licking the plate, right? Got to get all that stuff up and clean it. But I'd say on a regular basis, that stuff is just left behind. And it kind of struck me like I should probably get on and talk about this. I'm curious as to how many of you grew up in the Clean Your Plate Club or the You Don't Have to Clean Your Plate Club and how that affected you. I need to start. So, Carnivore has put me in this place where I'm definitely more in touch with my hunger cues. I eat when I'm hungry, and that's usually twice a day. And, I don't snack. Like, I've stopped snacking and I haven't snacked for over a year now. If I'm hungry, it's for a meal, and then I eat the carnivore meal that I feel like eating. But today I was kind of proud of myself. So I had eaten, I don't know how much, I didn't measure it, maybe 8 ounces of picanha for lunch today. And then I came home and I had made a chuck roast. Actually, it was the 7-bone roast, which is that I got from my half cow, and I learned that's cut from the chuck. So, anyways, I had made that, and it smelled really good when I came in the house, and it sounded good. And I went to the crock pot and shredded it all up, and took the bones out of there, and scooped some in a bowl with a lot of the yummy broth, and was looking forward to it. And I took maybe 4 or 5 bites. And I was like, I don't want any more of this. And I put a cover on it and I put it in the fridge. That is revolutionary. That is unheard of for me. I'm going to start, I think, taking a page from my kiddos. Start listening to when are you full and really stop eating when I'm full. I'm 49 years old. I don't live in my parents' house anymore and haven't since the age of 17. I don't have to clean my plate. So now it's time for me to go and meet some wellness, one plate that isn't cleaned in every meal at a time. Bye, everybody.